Good morning, everyone. I'm Surya alias Kritika. I'm a biomedical engineer. I'm a part of healthcare engineering team. So I'm going to explain about what is intensifying screen and about the detectors and the gases that present in the X-ray machine. So let me start the presentation. First of all, what is intensifying screen? So, an intensifying screen is a plastic sheet that coated with a fluorescent material known as phosphor. Generally, it is a part of the cassette. So, intensifying screen is one of the part in the cassette. So, it is why the material is coated with phosphor incense. Phosphor having a property to convert a photon energy to light. That's why most of the intensifying screens are coated with phosphor. Next one is intensifying screens permit a good radiograph to be produced with the patient receiving a much lower dose of radiation. So this film is very sensitive to both X-ray photons and light photons, but much more sensitive to light photons. So this is about what is intensifying screen. So the main principle of intensifying screen is that luminescence. Luminescence is nothing but it is the emission of light from a substance bombarded by a radiation. So with the help of luminescence, there are two types known as fluorescence and phosphorescence. Fluorescence is nothing but it is luminescence is excited only during the period of irradiation and will terminate at completion of the X-ray exposure. Next is fluorescence. Fluorescence is nothing but the afterglow of luminescence is known as phosphorescence. So, with the help of this fluorescence property, the screen you can obtain an image on a fluorescence screen as you all studied before in fluoroscopy in theory part. So, this is the fluorescent intensifying screen. This is how it looks like. Intensifying screen comes under various sizes based on the body parts. We have the exposure on the radiation. Next is this is how an intensifying screen looks like. Generally, in a cassette, both the top and the bottom layer is coated with an intensifying screen. So, in the middle of the intensifying screen, the radiographic film is placed. So, this is the image. So, if the screen is contacted properly, the image obtained in the radiographic film is good. So, if we don't have a proper screen contact, it causes a blurred image or a poor image reflection. So, this is about the image in a radiographic film. Next, we are going to talk about the speeds of intensifying screen. So, intensifying screens speeds can be classified into three types. Fast screen, slow screen and medium screen. So in fast screens, the manufacturer of fast screens is that it having a thick layer and relatively large crystals. So the maximum speed we can attain in fast screens, but we have to sacrifice in definition. And moving on to slow screen. Slow screen is how we manufacture slow screen incense. We use the crystal, we dope the crystal in a thin layer. In the detail in the small slow screens are the best, but the speed is slow, necessitating a high dose of ionizing radiation. So next is medium screen. So in medium screen, we have a medium thick layer of crystals in order to provide contrast between speed and definition. So this is about the speed of intensifying screen. So based on the speed, there are three types of intensifying screen can be classified in the industries. They are standard, rad earth and combination. So in standard, we use a calcium tungsten phosphor as the doping material, which rad earth screen use gadolinium or lanthanum phosphorus. So the commercial name for rad earth screens is Lanex. So in industry, Lanex is being generally called for rad earth screens. So rad earth phosphors are more efficient for converting X-rays to visible light, thus reducing the radiation further to the patient. So the manufacturer name and the type of the screen are printed the one side of the screen, and this information appears on the radiograph. So the intensifying screen is placed in a cassette in close contact with the film. The visible light from its fluorescent image will add to the latent image on the film. So its function is to reinforce the action of X-ray by subjecting the emulsion to the effect of the light as well as the ionizing radiation. So the benefit is that we can have a reduced dose of ionizing radiation when we expose to the X-ray radiation. So this is about the types of intensifying screen. Combination is nothing but they use different types of doping material. They can combine calcium, tungsten, and gadolinium. So this is about medium. I mean a combination of intensifying screen. Next is characteristics of an intensifying screen. So these are all the main characteristics that an intensifying screen must have. First one is a radio current. So the base must be a radio current and it should be a chemically inert. Then it have a combination of toughness and flexibility. Then it is reflective. So the base is coated with a reflective layer of titanium dioxide so that it bounces light back onto the film. So if the screens or divergence means the rays causes unsharpness of the image. So it must be of two flat rectangular plates hinged along one side. So the front aspect of the cassette faces the X-ray tube and consists of the sturdy metal frame into which is fixed a sheet of even light metal such as aluminium, plastic material like that. So the critical point being that this must be transparent to X-ray. So this is about the cassette. Next is the front view of a cassette. So this is the front view of a cassette. Always the cassette is having a lead sheet, and this is a back view of a cassette. So this back of the cassette is constructed from a strong metal. It is customary to spray the internal surface of the back of the cassette with lead paint so that it prevents radiation. So the purpose of which is to observe secondary radiation, preventing it from being scattered onto the film. So the back of the cassette contains a felt pad. So it is nothing but an intensifying screen at the back of the film lies on this felt and is usually glued to it. So the function of this felt is to maintain the screen, the film and the stereo screen in uniform and firm contact so that the felt is available in the back of the cassette. So in the front and back of the cassette are held tightly together either by spring clips on the edge of the opposite to the hinge or by a means of pivoted resilient metals or like that. So these fits into grooves in a frame. The cassettes utilize most of the radiographic films or plastic so that it can bend easily. However, when they are placed on the jump of the machine, they become rigid and the functions are stated as we are above mentioned. So this is about the cassette. Next, we are going to see about the properties of cassette, how a cassette should be. So we are going to see about the function of cassettes. So these are the main function of cassettes. First of all, it contains a film. It excludes a light to maintain the film enclosed in contact with both screens during the exposure and to protect the intensifying screens from physical damage. This is about the basic function of cassette. Next is a property of cassette. These are the basic property. First one is weight. So it should be light for easy manipulation. It is a robust structure. So cassettes in daily use are subject to considerable stress and wear. So screens may fail to maintain a contact with the film and leakage of the light at the edges can occur. So cassettes deserve and should have stringent care in handling. So next is non-flexible. So as not to allow the film to blend. Next is flexible. So flexible cassettes are mostly used for panoramic machines. So flexible cassettes are necessary for the specialized equipment. They are mounted within a simple envelope of a plastic material, folded at once and fastened with press buttons or conventional design. So the cassette is attached to a drum and is rigid for a duration of the exposure. This size. So always the cassette should be slightly larger than the X-ray beam and the area to be radiographed. Next is easy of operation. So cassette is have a basic property of easy operation. So this is about the properties of cassette. Next is care of cassette. So treated with care, X-ray cassettes are good for year of hard work. So there is a general aim of avoidance of rough handling by all who use them. So it is helpful to mark each cassette with identifying numerals which are inconspicuous. So it makes it easy to eliminate if radiographic faults are observed. For example, tracks in the intensifying screens or like light leaks, screens come with a sticker indicating the film speed, and this sticker is placed on the outside of the cassette. So this is the care we have to take them for the cassette. Next is a regular inspection. So cassette should be inspected at regular intervals to maintain them in serviceable condition. Hinges and clips are subject to stress and their proper functioning should be checked frequently to assure that whether wear has not occurred. So intensifying screens may come adrift and should be refixed immediately. So new screens are not allowed. So when loading a cassette, we have to check the screen whether it having loose connections or not. So the felt pad in the back of the cassettes may have become insecure or torn. This can result in a failure of intensifying screen to maintain uniform contact with the film, and this turns causes a localized area of unsharpness in the image or a film due to spread of some fluorescent light between screens and the emulsion. So this is about the regular inspection. Next we are going to see about what are the top companies that available the intensifying screen and also the cassettes. So intensifying screen and cassettes are available in local market. So it is a replaceable thing. So these are the top companies. It is a Design Assistance Private Limited, Unique Medical Systems, Cash Team, Detect Systems, and Digital. So the intensifying screen and cassettes comes around the price of 2,500 to 15,000 based on the advancement it having. So this is about the intensifying screen and about the cassettes. Now we are going to see about the X-ray detector. So X-ray detector is a device used to detect the X-ray exposure and convert it to image to be displayed on computers, whether you can adjust, magnify and save it. So this is the illustration of an X-ray detector. This is a flat panel detector actually. So it having a power supply. So with the help of the detector, there is a software available. You can use this detector, and with the help of this, you can produce a radiographic images with the software using computer. So this is a model of an another detector. This is the image that will be using this detector. This is a detector that available in mobile X-ray. So this is a size of detector based on the parts of the body we have to expose in X-ray. This is types of detectors. So this is just the basic types of detectors: proportional counters, micro channel counters, solid state detectors, micro calorimeters. So as a biomedical engineer, we have to detect which type of detector is that. So this is about the types of detectors. Next, the troubles arise in detector. So these are the troubles that arise in detectors. First one is problem arise in detector files. So if the detector is used for imaging purpose, having a corruption in files, like that problems it will create. Next is power supply. So there is a problem in power supply, whether it will not be connected properly. It creates troubles while during radiographic imaging techniques. So next is flash deteriorated or not working. Sometimes the light or the detectors is not working properly. It also causes an image deterioration. And next one is defective pixels. Next is bad cables, wireless in sense that will be a defective battery. So if it is not properly packed, also it causes a troubles while having an imaging system. Next one is computer related problem. Computer related problem is nothing but if we we use that data transfer, right? So we use computer and the software to develop a radiographic images. At last we have taken. So there will be a problem in data transfer. The program may corrupt. So computer or PCB may be defect and files corrupt or missing some files also cause some troubles. So next one is monitor. Monitor in sense SMPTE adjustments or having some problem, and also there is a defective display. So this is a problems that arises in detector. Next one is top companies where detectors used. So these are the global detectors that uses in global market. First is Alpha Healthcare, Amtech, Analogic Corporation, Enon, Detection Technology, Konica, Minolta, and Toshiba Corporation. So these are the global market, and Casting is a product that uses most of the X-ray detectors and intensifying screen, and casting product they available in separate manner. So they give intensifying screen. They also available cassettes. They also available detectors. They also available the whole X-ray equipment. So this is about the top companies of detectors. So detectors price ranges from something 10 lakh So based on the advancement, it goes to 15 something now. Detectors alone. So this is about my part. Thank you so much. And my team member Gaston will going to give on presentations of other parts.